The Adventures of Oni. How does the little van do at elevation? Everyone who owns a K-van or truck or is thinking of getting one knows that they are slow. But how does these little vehicles do at elevation? Well, we drive into the epic, majestic Rocky Mountains. And what better test to see how our K vehicle does at elevation than to go into the heart of the dragon, ascending into the Rocky Mountain National Park, where eagles play and elks call this sanctuary home. Our first little jaunt is up Highway 36. We gain about 2,092 feet to Estes Park.
Estes Park. You all know this place. Even if you don't recognize the name, this is a Hollywood marvel of fear and horror. Because...
here's Johnny!
Yep, the Stanley Hotel, nestled in the small town at the foot of the Rocky Mountain National Park, is where The Shining's external shots were showcased, with a backdrop of pure beauty. It is not that scary, but truly awe-inspiring. Even with all the grisly deaths.
Forever.
Okay, not really sure if room 217, that is supposedly haunted by the hotel's chief housekeeper, who was gravely injured in a gas explosion in 1911, and room 237, of course, is the one you all know from the book. Whatever you do, avoid staying in room 237. Duh. Oh yeah, 401, 407, and 408, which all have reports of everything from flickering lights, slamming doors, and mysterious bumps in the night, to visions of ghostly cowboys and giggling children. And maybe even a little murder. We were not there to see if Oni could connect with other demons from the underworld. We were there to head up to the park and see some pretty mountains. We jumped in the little van and headed into the park. Kurt is a disabled vet and gets free access into our nation's parks.
With a constant downshift, we headed up to where the roads were closed due to snowfall and the sadness of not getting to go over the Trail Ridge Road. Our highest documented elevation was at a little kiosk area at 9,410 feet above sea level. Let's ask Tweak about elevation and loss of power.
Hey, f***ed up bunny, can you explain how the lack of O2 affects engine performance?
Well, dummies, first you have to stop saying that you're breathing oxygen. You're breathing air. Oxygen is just one component in air, and it is the most important element that animals need to survive. But at sea level, O2 makes up about 20.9% of your air mixture. And with an elevation of 9,410 feet above sea level, the O2 component in air is now at about 14.5%. Guess what? O2 is what you need to make fire, which is how a combustion engine works, idiots. So Oni makes about 52 horsepower, but on further research it says on Wikipedia it makes 44 PS, which is about 43.4 horsepower. Sad. Also, an easy rule of thumb is for every 1,000 feet of elevation you go up, you lose about 3% of your power in a naturally aspirated combustion engine. Furthermore, at 9,400 feet, Oni's 43.4 horsepower engine is now running less power. We dropped about 12.23 HP due to elevation and the lack of O2. Sadly, Oni is only at about 31.17 horsepower up in the mountains at this elevation.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
Thanks, Rabbit, I think. So the question on everyone's lips is, how did Oni do up in the mountains? Great, terrible, and a lot of in between. What we found is that between third and fourth gear, the ratio on the gearing is pretty far, and fourth to fifth is even longer. Climbing up any type of grade, we were constantly shifting between third and fourth gear. Up in the mountains, getting to fifth gear is a luxury we rarely saw, but it was nice coming down out of the mountains. I think a horsepower increase, even a slight amount, would really help Oni's drivability in the Rocky Mountains. Even 10 horsepower. Or putting a turbo on to help compensate for the elevation would be great. Now we need a space to do the upgrades that Oni needs and deserves, which brings us to the question, where have we been? Why has it taken us so long to put out another video?
A lot has happened. We bought a house.
What?
It is a 1915 building in Walsenburg, Colorado, that was built right after the 1914 Ludlow Massacre. This horrific historic event happened just down the road. Supposedly there was an old grocery store attached to the house. Or was it a coffin emporium?
Get 3 coffins ready.
Huh?
There is no real records of the building, so maybe it was.
My mistake. 4 coffins.
Dirt Nap Coffin Company. We put the fun in funeral. Or maybe it was just a lame-ass grocery store. Anyways, we are naming the shop and the garage the Oni Cave. Welcome to the Oni Cave.
Oni Cave!
Watch our next video where we show off our new home, Oni's new home, and some pretty views of the Spanish Peaks that in local Native American language were referred to as the Earth Boobs.